You are listening to Radio Ramadan 365 podcasts.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum salam. Sajjad Saab, how are you, sir?
I'm very good. How are you today?
I'm also very well. Thank you very much.
So now you want to go straight to chapter 6? We can go to chapter 6. So
Okay.
death as your advisor. Him. Okay. So death as your, you make the point that often people say that, yes, I'm ready to die, are being disingenuous. They don't really think about it. Why do you say this? And you say that some of the practices of the deen are rehearsals for giving up. What do you mean by this? What you find when you do what your Rabb has called you into existence to do is that he allies the whole of existence behind you. That seems like a very self-centered way of looking at things, is it? Okay.
Right. I'm ready.
Right. Ready? Let's rock and roll. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Sheikh. How are you?
Wa alaikum salam, sir. Very well, thank you. And how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. I'm very good. So we'll go straight into chapter 6. Death as your advisor. And you make the point that often people who say, yes, I'm ready to die, are being disingenuous. They don't really think about it. What do you say to this?
I mean, this is my experience.
Okay.
It might be a little bit of an unkind sort of judgment, but you very often with people, they articulate this out of a sense of bravado. You know, they they say, "Yeah, no, I'm okay to die now." But if you consider, well, you know, what does that actually mean? You know, when you die, your world comes to an end.
Yeah.
So from one point of view, it's not you dying; it's everything dying. Right? I mean, the shutters of perception roll down on your children, on your career, on your loved ones, on your assets, on your alliances, on your petty gripes. Everything goes. You know. So you name the thing, and you're going to lose it. Your sense of who you are, you're going to lose it. You're going to the little hurts and grievances that we cherish throughout our lives that kind of makes us uniquely who we are. We're going to lose them. We're going to lose it all. So have you thought about this properly? I would say to somebody who says they're ready to die now. Do you realize just what is going to be taken away from you? You know, and I beg your pardon. I often think people haven't actually thought through this properly. And if they were to go through sort of item by, you know, what this actually means, they might still be able to be prepared to die, but they'll be a lot less frivolous about it. It wouldn't be something that you just say dismissively or, you know, off the cuff. In fact, we don't treat death with the respect that it should be treated with. You know, this is not something you get flippant about.
Mm. How should we treat it or prepare ourselves for it? What's the right way?
I mean, we have spoken about this metaphorically before. It's like the great exam.
Mm.
Those few moments, which are the last moments of your life, they are a vindication of who you've been. Are you comfortable that who you've been will be vindicated? You know, I mean, so if you see death as the final and irrevocable exam, either pass or you fail this thing, you know, then you'll be a lot less flippant about it, and you'll treat the whole matter with a lot more circumspection. Not in the spirit of avoiding it or not giving it attention. Exactly the opposite. You will see just how immensely significant this thing is, and you will not make self-assured proclamations about your capacity to face this thing. Because the truth of the matter is, only those who know what they're talking about are those that are already dead. So actually, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You know, when you say something like that, I can die easily. You know, I'm ready to die now.
Yeah, I've heard a few people say that, but they have no idea. They think they
They
do.
have no idea. Exactly,
They
they
have
have no
absolutely.
idea.
They have no idea. They need to listen
Oh,
to this. They need to listen to this chapter 6.
yeah. I mean, maybe going to do some volunteer work at a hospice
Yeah, I
and go
think
and
so.
see how people die. And that some people die really badly. I mean, they really do die badly. They die screaming and kicking every step of the way. Do you know that you're not going to die like that? How do you know you're not going to die like that? You know, that doesn't mean to say to become frightened of death, but to grant the thing its significance. I mean, this is not something. This is not a talking point between mates over a cup of tea. You know, this is a matter of grave import and significance.
That's right.
Mm.
Now, you say that many of the practices of the deen are rehearsals for giving up. What do you mean by this?
So let's assume we're busy together, and let's say this is a business meeting,
Yeah.
and we're pursuing an agenda, and we're trying to achieve some sort of an objective by this interaction, and the adhan goes off. What does it require me to do? Well, it requires me to stop my agenda, go and get with them, and carve out 15, 20 minutes of the day for the Ram. And then I come back to my agenda. So it requires me to give up. Salah requires me to give up what I'm doing at that moment. If you think about tahajjud, and maybe we should make this a more interesting kind of spectacle, like the European winter, and you snug in your duvet, just a nose sticking out. And you wake up with one eye, it's 3 a.m., and man, it'd be nice to snooze a little bit more. And it's so comfortable and warm. You know, if you were committed to your tahajjud, you would give up what you were trying to do, and you would go and do your tahajjud.
That's right.
The fast is the same thing. I mean, it's clear. It's, you know, you sitting there. There's for some reason, the ad got banned because the Muslims objected to it, which I thought was really petty of them. But there was you know, you've got Nando's in the UK, the chicken
Yeah,
people.
of course we have it. Yeah.
Now, that is a South African franchise.
Yeah.
And years ago, they had a very politically incorrect ad that is sort of flighted in South Africa. In fact, the Muslims went up in arms and they banned the ad. But it was it was at a seafront somewhere, you see, with the sun sort of getting closer to the horizon, and a guy sitting there with a Nando's drumstick, just waiting for the sun to dip below the horizon so he could eat. Yeah. I mean, surely that's what the fast asks you to do. It says, well, not now, give it up. I mean, you sort of one can carry on. All the practices of the deen are practices of giving up, and consistently asking you to give up. 5 times a day. When you want to approach your wife, but it's not appropriate right now, so you don't approach your wife. And stop. And how does it help you? It helps you to cultivate the muscle of asking yourself, what is required of me here, not what do I want.
Mhm. Thank you, Sheikh Sam. What do you find when you do what your Rabb has called you into existence to do? Is that he allies the whole of existence behind you? It seems like a very self-centered way of looking at things, is it?
So what has your Rabb called you to do? He says to you, I want you to worship me. I want you to be in awe of me. I want you to be enchanted with me. I want you to recognize that I am the master of all outcomes. That's the charge. Am I not your Rabb? That's what he asked us right at the beginning. Now, how does he kind of test that in us? As he presents us with a life that we could either try and manage in our own interests or do what he asks of us to do. Now, if you act on the basis of the first, that translates into every interaction you're dealing with the other on the basis of what you want to get from the other. I get to manage my own life. Now, if I was in an interaction with you and you realize that I'm only talking to you to get something out of you, you are going to resist me. You're going to become hostile to me. So in that interaction, I get resistance from other than me. When I'm dealing with the other on the basis of what I want to get from the other becomes hostile to me. And if I reproduce that moment by moment in all my engagements, I experience an entire world that is my enemy. An entire world that is parsimonious with me. An entire world that is resistant to me. When I deal with the world on the basis of what does Allah want me to do here, what I can give, and I do that moment by moment, I act with you on the basis of your best interest. Your natural response is to experience me as your ally. I'm not your enemy. And because I'm your ally, you become mine. Iteration 1, Sajjad. Iteration 2, Muhammad. I do the same thing with Muhammad. He becomes my ally. Iteration 3, Fatima. I do the same thing that she becomes. So iteration after iteration, I cultivate a world that is my benefactor and my ally. Now, that world is then on my side. That world orchestrates to help me achieve what I'm pursuing here. It's a bit bizarre to call that self-centered, because the price of that is that in every interaction, I acted in the best interest of the other, not in the best interest of myself. So the price is a radical anti-self-centeredness, non-self-centeredness, a radical ability to act in the best interest of the other in every situation that you're in. So, I mean, we do see people who are, we call people a wali, a friend of Allah. Is that not a very self-serving kind of statement? Who the hell do you think you are, friend of Allah? But you do get people who have the status that the Rabb and all of his creation and all of his creatures are the ally of this person, the friend of this person, not the enemy of this person. But if you examine somebody who's like that, the last thing you can accuse them of is self-centeredness, because they will demonstrate exactly the opposite. They will demonstrate absolute magnanimity, absolute open-handedness, absolute courage, complete generosity. No manipulating, no self-interest in their motive at all that you can discern. So this, we spoke again before about this this habit we have in our world of trivializing, demeaning, finding one way of looking at the thing that sort of tarnishes it. And this is another instance of that, that one way of looking at it that tarnishes it, demeans it. Because it is, to have the world as your ally is not, the price is the opposite of being self-centered. No. The price of it is other-centered. Another way of framing this is that your highest self-interest lies in acting in the best interest of the other in every interaction that you're in. In any transaction with the other, you deal with the other in the interest of the other.
Oh,
Then the other becomes your benefactor and your ally. That is your highest self-interest. But it's an abstract thing. It happens over a period of time. What's required of you in the moment is the denial of yourself.
mm. So the other is whoever you're interacting with.
Hmm.
For example, if it's your spouse or your family member, even at your own detriment, how do you balance that?
It's always at your own detriment. It is by definition at your own detriment.
Mm.
It is uh, what one must bear in mind, though, is we spoke about this thing of generosity and courage before, eh?
Mm.
That to genuinely act in the interest of the other in the situation that they're in. That means that sometimes you will need to be kind with them and supportive and sweet and generous, and sometimes you'll have to confront them. It's possible to confront somebody in their interest. If your child is about to put his hand in boiling water, then you would not negotiate this with the child. You would yell at the child and you'd snatch their hand away. That isn't you being a mean parent. That is acting in the best interest of the child in that moment. And so it is clear that sometimes acting in the best interest of the other is to confront the other, to be hard with the other. Now, in my experience, when we have conflicts in marriages, and I'm speaking first-hand experience, the first thing is not because what does this person need? It is because they're not giving me what I want. Because they aren't satisfying my needs, I act on the basis of my needs, and then we have ongoing hostility, ongoing fighting. If I were to change the frame and say what I want is completely irrelevant here, what does this person require? What will be helpful to this person? and I see this person consistently acting in ways that are manipulating or abusive, then I would tell them that. But, if somebody's trying to say, you must have had this experience where somebody's giving you feedback without an agenda. They're generally doing it because they want to be helpful to you. They can actually say some quite harsh things and you'll find it okay. But when they
Yeah.
give you that feedback with an agenda, they actually want you to do something for them, or they want to make a point over you. They want to, sort of get one over you in some way. You pick up the feeling, and then you no longer accept the behavior. So
That's right.
it is really about the intent of the person the self in this situation. You kind of, it means you will sometimes be straightforward with somebody, you will sometimes be harsh with them, but you there will never be a nastiness to it. There'll never be a feeling of wanting to get one over the person or put them in their place, or it'll be genuinely done in their interest. And how do you know it's done in their interest? It's giving to give away. In other words, I have no interest in what they're going to do with this. I mean, if it's like, Hidayah comes from Allah, hey? That means my job is to tell you, whether your job is to accept the message. It's got nothing to do with me whether you accept the message. I've done my job. That's being unconditional. I see what's required of me. I do that thing. I don't do anything else. I move on to the next situation. And I see the matter is done.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Sheikh Saab, thank you very much for that.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll see you on chapter 7.
Inshallah.
Assalamu
Thank you very
alaikum.
much. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Well, Sajjad Saab, we did well considering the constraints and the challenge. So we're two behind where we wanted to be, but maybe we could pick up one more.
Should we knock out one more?
No, not now.
No? You done?
That takes me into fighting with Juma here. So I'd rather. You're
Okay.
talking about the adhan and that.
Sorry?
Talking about the adhan and all of that. We're about to have the Juma adhan here. So.
Oh, yeah. What time
But
is it
I
there?
think if we go.
What time is Juma there?
We do it 12:30 here, our time.
Oh. No. Let's conclude, because I want you to have at least half an hour to decompress and get ready.
Thank you.
You're making
Thank
me
you.
jealous. I'm getting ready. I'm like, who's doing the azan? And I want to go and get ready and come and do dhikr afterwards as well. Alhamdulillah. Give my salam to everybody there.
Thank you. All the best.
And,
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So we done 6. I think 6 is good.
I think so.
You're busy for the rest of the day, yes?
I am busy for the rest of the day. I've got 2 meetings later on today. I've got 3 meetings.
3. MashaAllah. I think we done well. We did 6. We can we'll have to pull some time back somewhere. But I think now we're getting into the momentum of it.
That's true.
I'll let you go and have some little bit of decompression before.
Thank you, sir. All the best. We see each other next Friday. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Look forward to it.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.